You got to love it. Washington State Cougar fight song. So that means that the former WSU QB, Ryan Leaf, is on the phone, and he is our guest. And he is now nominated for the National Football Foundation's College Football Hall of Fame. And it's a pleasure to have him on the show. He's been a frequent guest, and we always like it when he comes on the show. Ryan, it's Jimmy B and Manuch, Rock Manuch and Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. You got to just be ecstatic today, right?
Yeah, I'm incredibly grateful and humbled by this. Coming from Montana, just the idea of leaving the state of Montana to play collegiate sports was a fantasy, and to be able to do that and now be on a ballot alongside some of the greatest college football players of all time is pretty special. So yeah, it's a definitely a special day in the Leaf family on today.
Right, I got to tell you what, The Rock and I were executive directors for the Valley of the Sun chapter here for many, many years. We're both on the honorary board members. Huge congratulations. I saw this come out ahead of time before a lot of Joe Q Public, obviously, with Mr. Haskell sending this out. So huge congratulations. And you're right. You got guys like, I look at Kajani Carter that's on here. You look at Mark Carrier. You look at, Tim Couch, Brad Culpepper, Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep, I know him.
On and on and on. And I know one thing for sure. You got our vote in reference to making that list, and hopefully early next year you're on that podium that Diaz being honored.
Well, I appreciate it. There's something really special about the College Football Hall of Fame too. In their kind of mandates and protocols of what goes into it. First off, you have to be a first-team All-American.
Yes.
Heck, how difficult that is to be a first-team All-American. There's one of you in the entire country. That's really special. And in a year where Peyton Manning was also a quarterback, and up for the fact that I was a first-team All-American speaks incredible volumes. And then I think there's a morality around what you do in your community once your career is over. That's why they wait 10 years for the nomination process to begin for the College Football Hall of Fame. And I think a big reason why I think this is more meaningful to me is that I think for a long time, the football player probably deserved to be in the College Football Hall of Fame, but the man didn't. And they've taken a look and said, Ryan, what you've been able to do with your life and how you give back to your community and how you make it about other people. I think that's the more important thing in all of this. And that's what I hold on to here. That makes me even prouder, to be honest with you, than just being known as a great college football player. That's incredibly meaningful for me.
You have been open and have chronicled your difficulties following your NFL career. But what you have indeed done and turning your life around, I'm just telling you just straight up now, as a person who understands a little bit about what you went through, not all of it, but a portion of it, that kids these days, they need to know about Ryan Leaf and understand, and I think it's important what you said, understand it's just not what is taking place on the field. It's also how you conduct yourself off the field. Is that fair?
I think it is. We are role models, and, unfortunately, I think we get caught up being placed on that pedestal that we are just better than everybody else because we play this silly game that we love so much. And so, it's a big reason why I travel the country every August, speaking to college football teams. Coaches keep bringing me in. I think we're at Duke and Texas A&M and Missouri and Oklahoma this fall. So, love those coaches, love with the identity and character they're trying to bring to their programs. And I love that part of August every year, to be able to walk into those rooms, talk to those kids, know exactly how they're feeling, because that's exactly where I was sitting 25 years ago, heading into my final year at Washington State. So, Yeah, I'm a really blessed individual. You know, I really am. And I think it's even better, because of the perspective I have and the fact that I'll never take anything for granted again. Like, there's just not anything out there that I'm not going to be grateful for because of the life experience. And that's a blessing. That really is. And I think it's something that I didn't know I needed, but I couldn't live without now. So it's a great deal, and happy for my family and all the sacrifices they made. I'm happy for my teammates, my coaches, my university. They gave me everything. They had my back no matter what. Our team was unbelievably talented. Everybody on that team, Mike Price included, I think, belongs in the Hall of Fame.
3 minutes.
He's Ryan Leaf, former WSU quarterback, first-round draft pick of the San Diego Chargers, now National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame nominee, joining us here on the Right Toe to Guest line. So we played that fight song coming out of there out of Pullman et al. What's the first thoughts that come to one Ryan Leaf's mind when you hear that fight song, and specifically that senior year?
He was singing it in front of all the Husky fans when we beat them in the Apple Cup. That's my favorite memory of singing that fight song. Right. And then at the Rose Bowl, I remember my offensive lineman. The Heisman Trophy had just been a couple weeks earlier, and of course I didn't win. But my teammates, everybody, they believed I deserved it. And we were on 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica. The week before the Rose Bowl.
2 minutes.
And my old lineman walked me into this like margarita bar called Chillers, and they had a Heisman display back in the corner, and like 2 of my offensive linemen went over and just tore off the Heisman part, and then presented this cardboard cutout of the Heisman Trophy to me in front of all these people, and the whole Chillers bar was just singing the fight song as loud as they could. I believe we probably got kicked out there a few minutes later, but those are 2 very, very fond memories of that fight song being sung.
I got to tell you what, I'm not going to say if. I said when you make the College Football Hall of Fame,
yes,
your story needs to be chronicled, need to be a movie. And I just want to know who's going to play Rocky Minucci and Jimmy B when that movie's made. But in all seriousness, what you've done and how far you've come, we commend you. Hats off to you. And when you get into the College Football Hall of Fame, I think this needs to be shared not only nationally, but internationally.
1 minute.
Well, I appreciate that. It's I will say this. I don't believe it's a unique story because I've sat in rooms with men and women who are just like me, who have the exact same story. Maybe not some of the unique qualifiers, but they have their own unique qualifiers. I just think mine was very public, and therefore people, they pat me on the back a little bit. But there are a lot of individuals out there that have overcome much more than I have, and are shining examples to me and so many. And I think now, because the fact that I have a platform, it's important to shine a light on them and those that still struggle, and know that there's a solution, and things can get better. So always appreciate the platform with you guys, of course, to be able to reach the Valley there in Phoenix, and I love spending time there, and I love the people there, and so I appreciate you guys for the opportunity.
It's the Straight Line podcast at PointsBet USA. It is hosted by Ryan Leaf, and it's always great, pal, when you take time with us. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you as always. Have a great night.
All right, there you go. Ryan Leaf. Unbelievable. What he is, what his life was.
Grand Bluffs, Montana.
Yeah.
I mean, to come all this way, you think about small town guys in America.
A population of 4?
Yeah, if that. I mean, I think of, he said just to get out of Grand Bluffs.
Yeah.
To go to Washington State. I love it. And the greatest moment he has here's that fight song is singing that in front of all the Husky fans in UW.
That's unbelievable. And the story that he told about the Heisman in the bar, that was awesome as well. All right, quick timeout. When we come back, Learner and Row, one call, that's all. And it is next. Rockin' Minuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is The Odd Couple with Chris Broussard and Rob
partner.
Kyrie, of course, forced his way out of Cleveland and seems to regret it because, I mean, he's talked about it in the past. How had he been more mature, he would have stayed there and won more championships.